Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Nick Barbulis. I'm the moderator of the College Executive Committee. So we technically are the hosts of this event. So I'm here to welcome you and congratulate you on the end of another really successful academic year. I'll have some comments from CEC to make in a minute, but I want to start now by turning it over to the Dean.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. It's the end of the semester, so welcome. I hope you had a wonderful spring semester. Let me get this moving forward. Very excited to be here today and to see so many of you. It's really just a pleasure to see so many of you here today. So I was given by CEC approximately 12 minutes for the Dean's message. What I want to do today is just recap a little bit the year we've had. If you recall, I started the semester by giving you a little bit of an update on some of the priorities of the college and what we're hoping to achieve in the years ahead. And those are the 4 items that I have shared with you both when I interviewed them back in the fall. So I thought really just a year afterwards gives us a great opportunity to see where we are today and what we have accomplished. So wanted to start a little bit with our enrollments, because again, in the current climate, this is an important update. So the university had really another record-breaking year in terms of applications, which makes it very clear that the demand for the University of Illinois education continues to be very, very strong. Students and their families are really very excited to trust us with their college education, which again, a high rate of students accepting their admissions and compared to past years. So we won't know our final numbers until the beginning of the semester, but for now, we're actually very, very optimistic that we will be welcoming a very big, very talented, very diverse, and very impressive class to the Illinois family. We're spending the summer preparing to welcome the new class to the University of Illinois and the College of Education specifically, and to make sure we've got everything in place to ensure they find the resources and support they will need. For our college specifically, we expect that we would actually exceed our enrollment targets. So again, we'll wait for a little while longer this summer to see. But we are projecting increases across all of our education programs. So we're very, very excited about that. Enrollment success don't just happen. And I'm very grateful for the hard work of so many of you during the year, including the faculty, as well as our colleagues in the Office of Undergraduate Programs, admissions, marketing team. Our admitted students are getting some wonderful packages this week to maintain that excitement and keep them really just excited about their experience coming forward. One thing I did want to mention is our new program in CS and education, which you have all very thoughtfully developed, and we'll have our first incoming class this fall. And the cohort looks pretty strong so far. So very excited about that. One of the most important growth opportunities for the college is really our online programs. So the college does continue to experience enrollment growth year after year. A trend that really has remained unchanged over the last 5 years. Thanks to your efforts, we have been able to really be very innovative in this space. The investment for growth proposal we received last year will allow us to add 1 faculty member to our ranks, as well as offer summer opportunities for students in the instructional design certificate program that we run with Coursera. We have a new campus certificate in collaboration with the Cancer Center, which really speaks also to our ability to work across colleges, really that idea of interdisciplinary learning, but also to leverage our expertise on equity and diversity. More and more units around campus, they're really looking to leverage our expertise in this space, which is really wonderful. And we have a new specialization certificate, among others, in trauma-informed education to address some of the pressing societal needs. In terms of enrollment, we continue to see strong demand for our online EDD program. Thanks again to your wonderful efforts. We do have additional opportunities for growth. Again, degree programs. So at the moment, I would say there's need for opportunities in fields of significance based on market analyses. So 2 of those programs are listed here. And we actually did submit investment for growth proposals for both of them, which we're waiting to hear back. We also have opportunities to work for non-degree programs to meet growing demands for both professional development through online certificates of specialization, as well as graduate certificates. And the recommendations of the campus transforming higher education task force includes a lot of sort of like innovative ideas on how to conceptualize offerings for non-traditional audiences and non-degree programs. And you see some of those here. So micro-credentials for in-service teachers, stackable undergraduate certificates that might lead into new degree opportunities as well. So we've been doing a lot of important work. We do have opportunities to further grow in this space, again, particularly in innovations around online programs. Wanted to share a little bit more around our excellence and innovation priorities. So we have had a wonderful year regarding sponsored research. You may have already seen this week the announcement for the NSF Artificial Intelligence Center, which is the only education-focused center artificial intelligence funded this year, led by our colleague, Chad Lane. We have been waiting patiently for several months to share the announcement. I think Chad had to exercise a lot of restraint for several months where the information has been embarked on. And I think what is really important to share is that this is the largest research grant ever awarded to our colleague. Beyond NSF, this year our faculty received grants from a number of other organizations, including the Mellon Foundation, ISB, Spencer, and many more. This is just a sampling here. More importantly, our work has really been getting a lot of attention. You may have seen a lot of stories from your research being featured in the Illinois News Bureau, and here's just a small sampling here of the stories that were shared just this spring semester. So I'm really proud how our work is really getting a lot of attention, both locally and nationally. This will be really just again, an incomplete list of awards, but this is just from this year, and you can see how our faculty, again, are being honored for the work they're doing, both locally, but also nationally. I'm super proud of how our junior faculty have really been sweeping all the early career awards from their respective organizations, which also speaks to the mentoring they have been receiving from our senior colleagues. So thank you to all for this important work. In this space, we have also been trying to reimagine and rebrand 2 of our centers, including the Center for Cultural Responsive Evaluation and the Center for the Study of Reading. I'm really grateful for the work of Rodney Hobson and Rob Lindgren, who have been leading those efforts. So CREA has actually been approved for a campus center status. We have a few more layers of approvals to go, but for the most part, we're almost there. And the other center is continuing the work over the summer to finalize the proposal. This year, we more than double funding for travel awards to make sure that, again, our faculty and graduate students have opportunities to be able to travel and present their work and network with colleagues around the country. We provided financial support to almost 20 PhD admitted students to visit campus for recruitment. That's something that we should continue to engage with to make sure we're recruiting the most talented and most diverse class of PhD students. For the first time, we provided scholarships to online students. Those are small amounts and small number for now, but that's an area we're looking to make sure that we have opportunities for all of our students in the college to make sure they have the support they need to continue their work. And with assistance from advancement, we have actually secured funding for 3 new named professorships. So that's very, very exciting given where we are. So we still have work to do, as you might imagine. So certainly more supports for sponsored research and opportunities to really improve and strengthen high impact work through either opportunities for internal seed funding and supports for larger scale proposals. Both the campus has opportunities, but we're also exploring more opportunities within the college to provide feedback and review and even options for external review. Jessica Lee, and through her work as in the Bureau, has even been exploring options for outside firms that can really help us in this space by, again, providing the scaffolds and the supports we might need to engage in those larger opportunities for external funding. Looking to increase research funding opportunities for our PhD programs. I feel we're doing a pretty good job when it comes to graduate and teaching assistantships, but creating more opportunities for our PhD students to get the research experience they need, but also to our faculty, and especially our faculty who do not yet have opportunities or external funding sources to really receive the support they need to advance their own scholarship. We do need to rethink funding commitments and opportunities for our PhD students. So how can we make sure that we're competitive and we're able to, again, recruit and attract the most talented PhD students, both the graduate college, but also our Office of Graduate Programs. We have been looking into additional opportunities to really make us more competitive in that space through our recruitment efforts, but also our funding packages. Some of the opportunities that we might be looking is contracts that run beyond 9 months, but also piloting a program again that would allow our junior faculty to request more research assistants, which would increase the number of research assistantships we might have for the college. And we're also looking to reimagine and improve our space to really support more research opportunities. So right now we're looking to really maximize the space we have at the CRC, which it's the only research space we have at this time. So along with facilities and the space committee, we have been looking to move all of our centers, our research centers and engagement centers down at the CRC. That would allow a lot more opportunities for more informal collaboration and networking, but also more opportunities to hopefully create more shared services and shared resources that would help support the work of all centers we have in the college. In the engagement space, so I'm happy to report that again, with the assistance of Emily Stone and several of our colleagues, as well as a community member from Unit 4, we have received funding from the Vice Chancellor's office to create a comprehensive community engagement strategic plan for our college. We had several meetings throughout the year that we have started to launch and articulate this work. And building on the work of Dean Anderson before, we have actually expanded the public and community engagement faculty fellows. So very, very happy to report that we have 6 new engagement fellows this year. We're working on some really wonderful projects to strengthen our collaboration with our community partners. We'll also be funding a graduate assistant to work with Emily on the Farm to Table program, again, strengthening some of the existing collaborations that we have in the community. So I'm almost done, Nick. I know you're getting anxious. So just in our intellectual capital, I do want to say that we're doing very well when it comes to faculty hires. Today, we have secured 6 new hires, and we're in the process of finalizing recruitment for several other searches. So I really would not be surprised if we're able to have 10 new faculty this fall joining our ranks. So that's super exciting. We have also been working to fill several staff hires, staff needs that we have. Working on faculty development, again, grateful for a lot of the work that Rodney Hobson, as Dean's Fellow, has done this year. But this is also an area where we have to continue to build and support our both our junior and mid-career faculty. Faculty development continues to be an important goal given the demographics of our college, which tends to be more on the junior side. As well as supporting graduate student, as I mentioned, recruitment, but also development to really maximize their opportunities and ability to be successful post-graduation. Have been working to reorganize and support operational excellence for the college as a whole. So I'm happy to report that both Gina and Sangeeta have been promoted to assistant deans, where they we'll be working closely together to make sure that, again, we have opportunities to continue to innovate in the online space and to make our work visible to outside constituents. And Gina and Sangeeta's expertise has been remarkable in those space. In the next few weeks, we'll be announcing an interim associate dean for undergraduate programs to fill the gap, and Nancy Latham will lead. And you should expect to see postings for a new interim diversity officer and associate dean for faculty and academic affairs. So those have not been posted yet. We have a Dean's Fellow on diversity. So really this would be a way to elevate our commitment to issues around equity and diversity. And in terms of faculty and academic affairs, I feel we have a little bit of a need there to make sure that there's a broader oversight and someone more responsible for working on issues around faculty and academic and curricular affairs as a whole. So last thing, opportunities to build more community, especially as we begin to re-engage and come back together after the COVID years. We have held several events to really begin to build more community around our junior faculty, both social and more formal professional development opportunities. Have worked really hard to engage in open communication, especially by strengthening our policies and processes. A lot of the things that we are used to be doing in a more formal way, really just working to formalize things so everyone knows what's expected. Beginning to really work a lot more closely on budget transparency, providing the information that you have all been requesting. We've had several meetings with both the unit executives as well as various committees to begin to, again, help everyone understand how, to the best of our ability, how this budget model works, our finances, our commitments, our expenditures. And during this coming year, I'm also hoping to facilitate opportunities for our faculty to further develop your own financial literacy. The financial health of our college is really the responsibility of all, and our actions do impact the bottom line. So I think it's really important for all of us to have some fundamental understanding of how the finances in the college work. So thank you all for a great year. I am really honored to be working with you, and I'm grateful for all your support throughout the year. This really has been a great year, and I really do look forward to working with you in the upcoming years. I'm confident it will get even better. So thank you.
So what I'd like to do is to give you a short summary of some of the things that CEC has been working on this year. People who know me I'm a strong advocate for shared governance, and I think we've been working to make the executive committee both an effective avenue for your voices, your concerns, your issues, and also, the primary advisory body to the dean. I think it's been a really successful year for us in that way. And part of it is congratulations to the dean for working with us in a way that's been highly consultative and transparent. So thank you for that. So one of the things we spent a lot of the early year discussing was a survey that had been done with early career faculty and issues and concerns raised coming out of that survey. And I want to focus on three of them. One is the service load for junior faculty. I do a lot of service. I do a lot of the governance issues. Obviously, people know me. It's not going to help you make tenure. And I think it's hard for junior faculty to say no sometimes. And there are faculty who have been really overextended in this area. And that's something that they were expressing to us. And we discussed a lot about how to avoid that problem. Some of it would be encouraging junior faculty to say no. But that's hard to do. This particularly bears upon junior faculty from underrepresented groups because every committee wants diverse representation. And that means in practice that a lot of the same people get asked over and over again. That's a double burden, I think, for those junior faculty. And we have to do a better job of protecting them. That's one of the things we talked about with the dean. That leads to the next topic, which is the issue of mentoring. This would be one important dimension of mentoring. If you're the mentor for somebody, help them to make better decisions and more selective decisions about what kinds of service commitments are going to build their career and which ones are going to get in the way. That led to two other topics I want to say briefly. One of the things we talked about a lot, we have college guidelines on effective mentoring. There's a lot of research and growing research in this area. And one of the things we talked about is basically it takes a village. We tend to think that the model is to assign one mentor to one mentee. That's actually not the best model. And there's a lot of other best practices out there. The same mentor may not be the best advisor in how to get a grant, how to improve your teaching, how to manage work-life balance. Those might actually be three different people. And so one aspect of mentoring is for people to have a better ability, junior faculty, to seek out people who can help to advise them in the different areas in which they need advice or mentoring. Sometimes that mentoring, if you're a member of Group X, maybe needs to come from someone who's also a member of Group X. So your primary mentor may not be that person. The other aspect of the issue is that effective mentoring also requires effective menteeing. And we talked a lot about the mentee's responsibility to seek out mentors, to ask for help, to ask for support, to meet regularly. Mentors are very busy, so sometimes it has to be at the initiative of the mentee to set up a meeting. And so we talked a lot about that. We talked about the college mentoring guidelines and how to improve them. The third element that coming out of those discussions is the issue of third-year reviews. We had lengthy discussions in the CEC about third-year reviews. The dean also talked with code. And after this year, we're not going to be requiring external letters for third-year reviews anymore. Sorry? Advance the slide. I wasn't even paying attention to it. Well, I see I've already messed it up. Can you do that? Thank you. Thanks. I don't want to have to deal with technology if I can't deal with technology. We also talked about, and the dean's already mentioned this, the reorganization of the dean's office, creating some new positions, especially a college level position in diversity, equity, and inclusion, the new associate dean for faculty and academic affairs. That was the topic of lengthy discussions between CEC and the dean. And as she said, there'll be announcements about some of those by next year. We also spent a lot of time reviewing the proposals. So there's two centers that have been on the books at this university for decades, the Center for the Study of Reading and CIRSE, the Center for Evaluation. And it was really Jim Anderson's idea that we have these centers that have been approved all the way up to the state level, but they're kind of defunct right now. Let's rather than create new centers, take these existing state-approved centers and try to revitalize them. And credit to Rodney Hobson and Rob Lindgren for heading up the process of revising those two centers. Stafford Hood obviously played a major role in the evaluation center as well. So we spent a lot of time reviewing the proposals from CREA and what is going to be called the ITLC, which has some relationship with the Center for the Study of Reading, Study of Cognition, Study of Learning Theory. The Center for the Study of Reading, if you ever hear, it never just did reading. So there's actually more of a continuity there than you might really expect, even in the technology area. So we reviewed those proposals. As the dean said, the CREA proposal was just approved by the campus senate, but there's more levels of approval to go beyond that level. That was, I think, a really important process for the college. We reviewed the revised online programs policy that Sangeetha developed, and that was something that we approved. We talked a lot on and on in various contexts during the course of the year about how to strengthen CEC's role as a body of shared governance. A couple of years ago, CEC very rightly decided to send out their agendas. So you all know what the CEC is going to be discussing. We also decided this year to also start setting out our minutes, so you know what we actually discussed or what we actually decided. And I'm sure it makes for gripping reading, and I'm sure you all read them from beginning to end each year. We also headed up Dean Musa's annual review, and that was a pleasurable process. I'm just going to jump right ahead to the next two items. We also approved two things that will be voting items for you. We're not going to vote on them today, although we might have close to a quorum today. These will be online votes, but I wanted to tell you about these two items that you're going to be hearing about for upcoming votes. What's the order of them? Okay, so one thing we did was to look at the non-tenure system. We call them on this campus specialized faculty course load release and buyout policies. What we did is we took the policies that were reviewed, approved last year for tenure system faculty course load release and buyout, took exactly the same document, and wherever possible, we kept it the same. Where it didn't make sense for things to be different, we didn't make them different. There were some areas where it had to be adopted and adapted for the specific professional needs and priorities of specialized faculty. You'll be getting a copy of that for a vote over the summer. Is it going to happen over the summer or in the fall? Okay, summer. So expect. Okay, so coming up very soon. The other item that's coming up for a vote is another bylaws amendment. We did one in the fall meeting. We have another one coming up. This one concerns voting on promotion and tenure cases. I think, as everybody knows, the policy is you can't vote both at the department level and the college level on P&T cases. That policy has been a little bit squishy. So we decided to formalize that policy and write it into the bylaws. And the proposed change really has two elements. One is you are recused from voting, not only voting, but participating in a discussion at the college level on a P&T case from your own department. So you can't be involved, not even vote, you can't even be involved in the process at both levels. So you're recused from voting. If the committee has questions or issues that they want to ask about the candidate or the file or the materials, they can bring in the department head or the department chair to answer those questions, so that the people at the college level are not in this kind of dual role of, am I here as an informant? Am I here as an advocate? Am I here as a participant? You're out at the college level. It's just, we need to make it clean. I mean, there was even a time when people were strategically deciding which level they wanted to participate at. And that was kind of gaming the system. That's not what we want. So the new policy is, I think it's very clear, it's very straightforward. And we don't need to, we can discuss it, but that's what you also will be voting on. And unless you have any questions, that does it for me. Okay, I do want to remind you that CEC is your representative body. And part of us doing our job is for you to send questions, issues, comments, concerns to the CEC so that we can better represent you. Thank you.
All right, so we have one retirement coming up, Carolyn Anderson. Carolyn has been on the faculty in the Department of Educational Psychology for 30 years. She received her PhD in 1993 from the University of Illinois and joined our faculty that same year. She's been a cornerstone of our quantitative division ever since that time in terms of teaching, research, service, and especially student mentorship. Over the years, I've lost track of the number of times I've been at talks or seminars in other departments and heard someone say something like, graduate students and faculty say something like, if you want to take such and such a course in stats, go over to EdPsych and take Carolyn Anderson's course if she's got it, because that's the one where you learn how to do it right. So there you go. And these are from departments with stats people in them a lot of the time. So, all right. So these courses include applied multivariate statistical methods. That's easy to say. Hierarchical linear models, applied categorical data analysis, and Bayesian inference and modeling, and several more. Carolyn's always put her students first. Nevertheless, she's also served as associate editor of Psychometrica and is the current secretary of the Psychometric Society, among many, many other service positions, nationally, internationally, and on campus and in the department, of course. And of course, there's her long list of publications and funding awards, and we're going to miss her tremendously in the department. So please give a round of applause for Carolyn.
I am both excited and a little sad to recognize our retiree from the Council on Teacher Education, Brenda Clevenger Evans. I'm excited for her and her well-earned retirement plans with her grandchildren and to travel, and of course, her endless yard work. However, the loss of her institutional knowledge and dedication will be felt by the college campus and state. Many of you have worked closely with Brenda in her roles, both inside and outside the College of Education. Brenda began here at UIUC in 1989 in the Office of Student Accounts and Cashiering, and later moved into the Graduate College. From there, Brenda joined the College of Education and served as the assistant to the associate dean and then the assistant dean for undergraduate student affairs. In 2009, Brenda joined the Council on Teacher Education, serving as the associate director and licensure officer. Brenda has represented UIUC on state committees and task forces on issues pertaining to licensure and served as a licensure and certification liaison and resource for UIUC's 40+ educator preparation programs across the campus. Brenda's commitment to our licensure process has strengthened and supported all of our programs. I've always marveled at her ability to cite an ISB rule with accountant-like accuracy, dissect it, give me the historical perspective and context on it, and then question ISB's own shifting interpretation of the rule to the point that they are silenced. Brenda's knowledge and dedication have served our learners, school partners, and teacher preparation peer institutions statewide. Please join me in recognizing Brenda for her service and commitment to our candidates and programs across the campus and congratulating her on her retirement.
I knew Nancy would be a great addition to our department and college the first time I met her. I was on the search committee for a co-director, and I was so excited that we were able to steal her from ISU. But I was most struck by her amazing enthusiasm. After all, who but Nancy could get excited about meeting with legislators trying to convince them that some of their ideas were really bad, or ensuring that everyone on campus was meeting the multitude of standards that ISB requires. Only Nancy could meet these challenges with grace and humor. I got to know Nancy even better when she developed new courses and became Associate Dean for undergraduate programs. What I quickly noticed is that she really missed teaching. So she redesigned the introductory course for all freshmen and the college, that's the Education 101, and the concurrent mentoring course for current undergraduates serving as teaching assistants for the courses. Then she created a 3-course sequence focused on instructional assessment and planning for James scholars. And then she redesigned and taught the required instructional planning and assessment course for the elementary program, that's the CI 405. And she managed to publish a book this year. Spanning all these roles, Nancy maintained her positive attitude and developed an engaging style. And she manages to challenge certain professional groups when needed to defend the profession. Just last night, she wrote a well-crafted, well-researched, but firm rebuttal to our rankings by NCTQ. We will miss Nancy's humor, leadership, and ability to problem solve, but mostly we'll miss Nancy's enthusiasm for all things related to teacher education.
Okay, this is with bittersweetness that I am letting you know that our esteemed colleague, Jim Schreiner, will be retiring this summer, June 30th. He served the University of Illinois on our faculty for 26 years. He's an accomplished and in-demand special education scholar whose work has addressed the persistent challenges of implementing high-quality special education services for children with disabilities. His scholarship has brought him national and international acclaim. His service to the profession has been exemplary. For example, he's been the editor of Special Education Policy and Practice, and he's been the co-editor of Journal of Disability and Policy Studies. He also has held and continues to hold, chair, and assume other leadership responsibilities and duties for the Council for Exceptional Children, where he contributes his considerable expertise to matters of national public policy. His active public engagement through his research and service has impacted the development of improved instruction and professional development for teachers. Jim has been an instrumental member of the Department of Special Education. His teaching awards, combined with his service to his professional and disciplinary organizations, including the department here at Illinois and the college, places him among a very select group of scholars who's consistently fulfilled the roles of teacher, scholar, and mentor. I will miss Jim's thoughtful contributions to the Department of Special Education and to the College of Education. He will be sorely missed by his colleagues and alums. Please join me in congratulating Jim on his brilliant career and his well-deserved retirement.
Right, so now I actually have the pleasure of announcing several awards. So our first award is the Campus Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching that our student Samchari Banerjee received from Educational Psychology. Is she here today? Okay. We also, oops, this is. We also had a second student who actually received the Campus Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching, and that's Anna Garner from EPAL. Lynn Burdick, she received the inaugural Chancellor Staff Excellence Award this year. So thank you, Lynn, and congratulations. Megan Burke, Special Education at EPAL this year served as the Public Engagement Fellow in the Office of the Provost. She really worked closely with the Provost Office to work on policies and other related matters to public engagement. Brianna Morales, so we're super proud that one of our alums is the 2023 Illinois Teacher of the Year, voted by ISB. So, and she's an EPAL graduate. We're proud of Yun Pak, who this year received the Campus Award for Excellence in Faculty Leadership. So congratulations, Yun. Amy Santos this year served on the President's Executive Leadership Program. So she was a fellow for that. That's a special program out of the President's office that includes various visits to policymaking agencies as well as the other institutions of the system, where they're working really closely together with leadership across all the system institutions to identify more around the role of a research intensive land-grant institution in the current 21st century. And Chris Band was also part of the same program.
Hi, everyone. So last summer I was being a bit, let's say, ornery about chairing this committee. So what I did was I submitted a list of names of people who I thought represented the diverse research interests, methodologies, ranks, and departments, and would just generally make it a good experience to do this committee, and people that I wanted to get to know a little bit better. And this is the list that I submitted. They all said yes, which is wonderful. And I just want to thank everybody on the committee. It was a lot of work, but we did good work. Next slide. So I'm not going to read these off, but I do just want to point out that the College Research Committee has become more than just an awards committee. The awards part is very important, but we are also consulting with the Associate Dean of Research on issues of research policy. And so just like Nick said about the CEC, if you've got questions, concerns, issues you want to have raised about the way that we do research in this college, the way that we support research in this college. If you've got concerns about our interactions with schools and doing research in the college, find out who your representative is on this committee and make sure that those concerns are raised. We've had a good relationship, I think, working with Associate Dean Lee this year. She's listened to us. She's asked for our input on a lot of different processes. And so that's been a really good experience. Okay. There's one perk of being the chair of the College Research Committee, and that's that I get to announce these fabulous awards. So the dean already mentioned that we had a lot of increased support for conference travel. For obvious reasons, we had sort of a skyrocketing of applications for these awards. It was really important to us that we try to fund as many of these as we could. We actually had third and even fourth year PhD students telling us in these applications that this would be the first face-to-face conference that they would be attending as a student. And we really, really wanted to support that. And so thanks to Associate Dean Lee and to Dean Musa for being willing to support those additional awards. Okay, so now I get to announce the dissertation awards for the college. So we were able to support 4 awards this year at $2,000 to go towards research expenses for students who are in most cases in the final stages, the final year of their degree. So we have Nesreen Mashaka from Curriculum Instruction, being advised by Dr. Christ. The title of her work is Beginning Science Teachers Conceptualization of Responsive Teaching. Claude? Next, we have Melanie Martin from Special Education. Her advisor is Hedda Madan, and she will be conducting an investigation of bilingual support for people who provide services for children on the autism spectrum. Melanie? We have Suchi Sinha from Curriculum Instruction, advisor Arlette Willis, exploring the transformative potential of critical literacies and Indigenous pedagogies in educational experiences of Indigenous students in India. So congratulations. And finally, Nina Owalabi from EPOL, advisor Dr. Zamani Gallagher. She will be researching how Black parenting students attending community college navigate pandemic-related stressors. Congratulations. Okay, so next I'm going to announce the Hardy Faculty Fellow Awards. So these, we gave 2 of these awards this year. These are for 20K fellowships for a full academic year, meant to support a new study or an innovative program of research. It's always a very competitive competition for these awards. So really excited to announce our winners for this year. First, we have Jarrett Lewis. I don't know if Jarrett's here, but we do have he's in the secondary room. So Jarrett will be partnering with Champaign Unit 4 Schools to address racial trauma and violence exposure on Black students' mental health. There you go. Oh, this guy. Picture. Just you two. I'm going to read it again because got lost. Jarrett will be partnering with Champaign Unit 4 Schools to address racial trauma and violence exposure on Black students' mental health stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. And the next one goes to Adalia Nunez Cortez. The title of Adalia's project is Through Young Children's Perspectives, Practices and Approaches, an examination of initial ideology formations and investments in bilingualism. Yeah. All right, so next is the Hardy Distinguished Scholar Award. So the first one is the Hardy Distinguished Scholar. This is an award for outstanding research presented to a faculty member in the college who is within 10 years of receiving their doctoral degree. This year's award goes to Nigel Bosch. So I just want to highlight something that was written about Nigel by one of his letter writers. Nigel's work is societally important, thoughtful, integrative, and moves the field forward. It is the sort of work that our field urgently needs to make sure that 21st century education is equitable. It is work that brings together computer scientists, educational researchers, school leaders, and teachers, and it is work that a truly interdisciplinary leader like Nigel could only carry out. Okay, the next is the Hardy Distinguished Senior Scholar Award. So the criteria for a Senior Scholar Award is, let's see, they must have a proclivity for pastel colored shirts, reciting sketch comedy bits from 30 years ago, and a willingness to eat dinner at 4:52 p.m. Yeah, that tracks. That's good. This year's award goes to Dr. Chad Lynn. So one of Chad's letter writers states, he conducts research on the cutting edge of technology, but also with foundations in the psychological and educational sciences. Dr. Lane is a charismatic leader. He gives dazzling keynotes, is selected in organizational positions, and has a magnetic presence that draws people in. Dr. Lane is internationally visible, an internationally visible researcher who will help UIUC navigate this rapidly evolving world of technology, in particular educational contexts. That part I agree with, right? Well done. All right, and finally, I'm going to be presenting the Bureau of Educational Research seed grants. So these are awards for up to $10K. And the college started giving these awards during the pandemic as a way to keep research moving and to help faculty to overcome the challenges to do research in that climate. And there was a real feeling amongst the Bureau, the Dean's office, and the committee that we should keep these going. But we felt that, you know, in the past, the support for these kinds of seed funding awards typically tend to be for proposals that show promise for external funding. And while we still think that that is important, we also wanted to make sure that we're also including awards for projects that are meant to sustain partnerships and to have sort of longer term impact within the community. So we broadened the language of the call this year, and I'm happy to say that a number of the projects that you'll see presented here in a minute do represent that sustained partnership commitment. Okay, so the first one goes to Catherine Kaur and Mia Chutzik on a project, Changing Trauma-Informed Attitudes. Does that work? Second one goes to Gloriana Gonzalez and Saad Shahab, working on designing an open lesson for engaging middle grade students in design justice. I think. Next goes to Melissa Goodnight, Anthony Sullers Jr., and Terry Vaughn, building networks and collecting data to support racial and ethnic faculty diversity within higher education. Erica Mason, Minette Kretz, and Camille Griffin, reconstructing teachers' views of disability and mathematics capability. And finally, to Jennifer Nelson, navigating cascades of change across workplace hierarchy, the case of an academic library as an educational organization. Thank you. Congrats to all the research award winners. What a great year.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Grace So from EPOL. I had a privilege to serve as the chair of the college's faculty and staff awards committee this year. First of all, I would like to thank our FSAC members for their hard work and dedication. Also, my special appreciation goes to Daniel Ward, who has helped coordinate the overall functions of the committee, as well as promotion and also review process. So thank you, Danielle. For this academic year, we've received a total of 21 outstanding nominations across 10 different awards category. And as a committee, it was quite challenging for us to make a decision, as you can imagine, because each nomination made such a strong case for a significant impact of the work of our college staff, faculty, and also teaching assistants. And this is my second time to serve as a chair of the college's award committee. And each time it just brings me a realization what an honor it is to work with such a dedicated and talented group of colleagues here at U of I. Okay, so on behalf of the committee, I'm going to announce the winners of the College of Education Awards, and please join me in congratulating each winner as I announce their names and share committee's rationale for selecting each winner. The first award is the Distinguished Staff Award. The winner is Ms. Hannah Duran from the Student Academic Affairs Office. Ms. Hannah Ms. Hannah Duran is undergraduate admissions and record coordinator at SAAO. She was selected for her excellent work and dedication to the college and its undergraduate students. Working in college's SSAO for over 5 years, she has played a key role in college's admission and academic processes and procedures. In addition, she's been instrumental in a plethora of projects, including the orientation and training of new staff members, assisting new academic advisors and staffs at the new student registration, James Scholar Honors Program operations, great audit reviews, and many more. One of the nominators wrote, with definitive certainty, I'm not the only staff member that has referred to Hannah as a blessing. She's an exemplary employee, and I cannot think of a staff member more deserving of this award than Hannah. Congratulations. Next award. The winner of the Outstanding Undergraduate Teaching Award is Dr. Lisa Kinderman. Dr. Kinderman is a clinical assistant professor in the Department of Education Psychology. She teaches EPSY 420, Theories of Counseling and Psychotherapy, which is a survey of historical perspectives and research-informed, evidence-based contemporary approaches to clinical practice. In her course, she makes a great effort to bring theories to life by creating safe, engaging, and effective learning environment for her undergraduate students who are becoming clinicians. For many semesters, she's received very high ICS scores on teaching effectiveness, course quality, and also amount of student learning. Her former student wrote, the intentionality and passion she brings into the classroom is a powerful way of translating theories to practical application. I can truly say that what I learned specifically from Dr. Kinderman's class is what I'm still using and expanding upon in my career today. Congratulations. Next award. Outstanding Graduate Teaching Award. The winner is Dr. Denise Hood. Dr. Hood was selected based on her significant contribution through on-campus and online graduate courses and programs as a faculty member and mentor of graduate students for the past 14 years. Dr. Hood teaches courses on higher education, diversity and equity, and research methods, where she often has a very high enrollments. In all of her teaching, she utilized student development theory and engagement to set the framework for learning and creates enriched and participatory learning environments for her students. Her excellent teaching skills and effectiveness in engaging diverse students are also well recognized by the consistency of her highest scores across various program areas over the years. In a letter, her former students shared very strong support for her as an outstanding and dedicated educator who has had a long-term positive impacts on her career and life. Her nominator also shared, what I also found so remarkable was Dr. Huth's concerted efforts to get to know each student, regardless of class size. She sees each student as a whole person, cognizant of how they lead complex lives and appreciative of the unique perspective each student brings. She truly represents the pillar of excellence in every respect and should be recognized for the work she has done and will continue to do. Congratulations. Next is Excellence in Online Teaching Award, and the winner is Dr. Sharon Lee. Dr. Sharon Lee is teaching assistant professor in Nepal, a core faculty member and program lead of the Diversity and Equity concentration. She teaches a number of online courses in the areas of diversity and equity, research method, and Asian American education. Her dedicated and personalized teaching is well manifested in her consistently remarkable ICS scores in all of her courses over the years. She advises nearly 40 doctoral students with unyielding support and critical feedback as well, described in her support letter from a student. Also, she has made significant contributions to the foundation and quality of the online EDD program as an inaugural EDD online program manager, where she provided entry-level advising for all newly admitted EDD online students and established a deep relationship with this large group of students. Her nominator wrote, in every teaching capacity, Dr. Lee has continued to seek excellence to serve students. She embodies student-centered teaching and learning. Sharon Lee is truly most deserving and representative of excellence in online teaching. Congratulations. Next award is Outstanding Teaching Award for Teaching Assistants. The winner of this award is Ms. Crystal Williams. Ms. Williams is a doctoral student in the Department of Special Education. She has taught SPED 450, Introduction to Early Childhood Special Education, as a co-instructor, and SPED 585, Individual Differences, as an instructor of record. As a practicum supervisor, she helped master students develop their essential capacities as a practitioner in various areas. In addition to teaching and supervision, she's also contributed to course development, program building, and dissemination of important resources, tools, and instructions through her presentations, practitioner-focused articles, guest lectures at local, as well as broader context to help early childhood special education practitioners and faculty utilize those best practices. Her letter writer commented, "Our faculty have expressed pride in her effectiveness, reflection, and growth, and unwavering dedication to the successes of pre-service and practicing teachers within the department and beyond. And we are excited to see the impact of her future accomplishment." Congratulations. Next award, Outstanding Faculty Mentoring Award, goes to Dr. Rodney Hobson. Dr. Hobson was selected based on his strong leadership and extraordinary commitment to the mentorship of early career faculty. He has served as Dean's Fellow at the college since 2019. In his role, he's organized, provided various professional development opportunities to optimally foster the career development of the pre-tenure faculty at the college. He's also formally and informally engaged with numerous junior faculty in various capacities and areas as mentors and collaborators. In the support letter, his mentees illustrated vivid examples of his strong dedication to mentorship. And they wrote, as two of Dr. Hobson's departmental mentees, we believe that his time and energy for us reflects the dedication he has to developing successful new faculty, both in the academy and our respective fields. Congratulations. Next award is Outstanding Faculty Award for Public Engagement, Dr. Chet Lane. Dr. Lane has made a sustained public engagement effort of extending his research to make it accessible and applicable with remarkable impact for local, national, and international communities and audiences. His nomination package showcased a number of very impressive and significant contributions he made in the course of his research on generating and sustaining interest in STEM with effective strategies for helping all students, especially those underserved and underrepresented. For example, he has collaborated with Champaign-Urbana Fab Lab and Urbana Neighborhood Connection Center, a nonprofit out-of-school education center, in providing science-focused education programs with more than 1,000 instructional hours over the years to CU area middle schoolers, largely underrepresented students in STEM. As the support letter from the interim director of UNCC noted, providing youth with these summer camps enabled our youth to not only receive STEM learning experiences through engaging self-directed projects, it also exposed our youth to a variety of education experiences and teachers from around the globe. Dr. Lane's enthusiasm with the youth was demonstrated not only in class, but also during the wisely timed breaks when he could be found throwing a football across the lawn with the youth. His dedication to his work and to our youth was evident. Parents and community members, including professionals from the University of Illinois and Parkland College, were also pleased to join several events programs at UNCC, where Dr. Lane was able to showcase the youth's work and provide additional information to the community. Congratulations. Next award is Spitmather Faculty Award for Excellence, Dr. Gerald Lewis. Congratulations. The committee selected Dr. Lewis for his impactful and dedicated scholarship and public engagement in the area of Black and or African Americans, particularly boys' experience in healing from psychological trauma in urban and under-resourced settings. His nominator wrote, where Jared most stands out is his clear commitment to engaging and cooperating with our community, most often with the very young people and families he's most passionate in supporting. For a campus that is increasingly focused on public engagement, Jared is an exemplar. Another letter writer wrote in support, Dr. Jared is an outstanding junior faculty whose contributions have embodied the spirit of Spitmather Award for Excellence. His research practice is promoting family life issues in schools and community. His work is already helping to address the psychological and educational needs for students in our local community, with promise of having increasing impact over the years to come. Congratulations. Next award is David Zola Distinguished Teaching Career Award. The winner is Dr. Ann Dyson. Dr. Dyson was selected on the basis of her 40 years as a teacher scholar and teacher mentor. She has been teaching graduate courses for 17 years in the college and has been recognized in CITL's the list of teachers ranked as excellence each semester since her arrival at UIUC. She teaches research method courses and advanced research seminars, where she provides detailed guideline and rich feedback on student projects, which many students use them as important milestones in the program. Her nominator letter writer wrote, Dr. Dyson is an embodiment of a Duboisian teacher who enacts her mentoring and teaching of her students. Her students' letters also strongly support her nomination by providing vivid examples of her dedicated mentoring, unwavering support, and loving encouragement throughout their journey as a doctoral students. Congratulations. The next award is Excellence in Guiding Undergraduate Research. The winner is Dr. Chris Napolitano. Dr. Napolitano is an associate professor in the Department of Educational Psychology. Over the years, he's been working with undergraduate students on his various research projects in his lab. At the college, he's been advising and guiding undergrad students, James Scholar and honor thesis projects. He has also worked very closely with the Office of Undergraduate Research and collaborated to develop a toolkit for social science faculty who wish to guide and also mentor undergrad students to learn and engage in educational research. His dedication to these undergraduate student learning and growth as scholars is particularly special, considering the fact that his home department has no undergrad students of its own. In the nomination letter, the nominator mentioned, as a past recipient of this award at the campus level, I can honestly say that I've never seen another faculty member so involved in and dedicated to the development of undergraduate researchers and their research, myself included. His continuous, sustained efforts in developing undergraduate research stand as a model and inspiration for every other faculty member on campus, and I hope that the committee will recognize these efforts as such. So congratulations, Dr. Napolitano. I think that's all from me. Once again, big congratulations. Thank you.
So now I have the special honor of engaging in the special presentation. So I really have the great pleasure now and true privilege to award the College of Education Dean's Medallion to Dr. Bill Trent.
Because we only have one, I asked if we wanted to share it.
Oh. We don't know when we get hurt, right? That's the big thing.
Thank you all so very much. Even though you know these four interlopers here are actually mine, they're not his nieces. Fine, I'm sorry.
So I'd like to share a few words. The Dean's Medallion recognizes exceptional individuals who support and bring distinction to the college in a profound way. The inaugural Dean's Medallion was actually awarded by Mary Kalanzis, who's there in the back, in May 2013. So it is really special today to give this award again 1 decade later. And we really could not be honoring a more deserving and distinctive individual today than Dr. Trent. Professor Emeritus Bill Trent arrived in Champaign, Illinois in 1983 to join the College of Education's Department of Education Policy Studies as an assistant professor, joining colleague Jim Anderson in Education Policy Studies, now EPAW. Dr. Trent was part of a growing number of Black faculty to arrive on campus in the 80s. He was a sought after affiliate faculty member in the university's Department of Sociology with his educational and research background in sociology and civil rights, specifically in how they correlated in educational settings. His expertise within the realm of educational inequality was uniquely firsthand, growing up in the South during the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. Dr. Trent experienced segregation living in Richmond, Virginia, and as a student in an all-Black school system from elementary through high school. Attending a desegregated college fueled Dr. Trent's interest in trying to understand what could be done in changing the pattern of inequality, access to quality education. He earned his master's degree in sociology from George Washington University and PhD in sociology from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, focused on how access and equity impacts students' pursuit of educational and societal achievement. It's really impossible to sum up all the details of Dr. Trent's illustrious career here at Illinois with the time we have today, but I will just share just a very few highlights. So in addition to his extensive teaching, research, and student advising responsibilities, he served the college and campus in numerous capacities during his 39 years on the faculty. Shortly after attaining full professorship, he was recruited by the Chancellor's Office to serve as an Associate Chancellor in Higher Education Administration. While he accomplished rewarding work on campus, thankfully for the college, and the scores of the doctoral advisees, he eventually returned to the college to continue contributing to the diversification of scholars in educational research. From 2014 to 2022, Dr. Trent was the director of the college's Center for Education in Small Urban Communities, teaching and growing engagement with local school districts, educators, and students in a variety of ways. Additionally, from 2019 until his retirement, he served as associate head of the EPAW department. So I mentioned earlier, Dr. Trent's extensive career-long scholarship related to equity and access in education. So if that's any indication, his CV has over 12 single-spaced pages of co-authored books, monographs, published journal articles, chapters, reports, presentations, and so on and so forth. So really, this is excellence in scholarship and naturally results in recognitions and awards in which Dr. Trent has plenty for us to mention today. Most notably, however, in 1999, he received the Outstanding Scholar Award from ARA. He followed that in 2003 by winning a Fulbright Senior Specialist Program Award while serving as a visiting scholar at the College Board. He was a Spencer Foundation Resident Fellow from 2006 to 2007 and was named ARA Fellow in 2012. And last year, the Spencer Foundation named Dr. Trent a Spencer Mentor Award recipient. So what a great honor. This last honor, we absolutely really cannot overlook. Dr. Trent's investment in mentoring students and junior faculty have made the College of Education here at Illinois known for and seen as a place of great scholarly mentorship. Dr. Trent really embodies excellence, his career trajectory, the body of the published research and writing, his honors and awards. He embodies equity. The theme and pursuit of his scholarly work speaks for itself, and he really embodies engagement as well. He's championing of public engagement through the Center for Education in Small Urban Communities, his mentorship of students and fellow faculty alike. So this is why we honor Dr. Bill Trent today with the College of Education Dean's Medallion. And now we'd like to welcome his daughter, Tiffany Trent, to say a few words of congratulations from his family.
Distinguished faculty, family, and friends, good afternoon. I am Tiffany Trent, the second of 4 daughters, and we are deeply honored to be here. As mom and dad would have it, my sisters and I worked together on these remarks. I speak with our voices intertwined, as you can imagine that a Trent child just might have a brief word or two to say. Dean Musa named support and distinction as the markers of the medallion. Dad spent his life imparting these values to us. We witnessed support beyond his office walls, hosting grad students at holiday dinners and the annual department picnic at our home. Plus, we have participatory memories of scholarly support. We were research assistants early on. Now, no child labor laws were violated when Dad taught us how to sort those punch cards from back in the day from his data collection. We remember the green and white track printer paper that we later used as scratch sheets to practice our math. Dad believed in education throughout the entire pipeline and built a scholarly environment at home. He wanted education for everyone and still does, from the youngest emerging scholar to the thought leaders, such as those who are in this room and across the hall. Shout out to y'all, thought leaders of the 21st century. We worked on campus sometimes alongside Dad, occasionally leaving behind ambitiously morbid creative writing assignments. Marika once left a story that greeted Dad the next morning with a colleague saying, "Is this yours? Everyone in the office has read it." Thus, we had early exposure to the peer review process and cultivated our own authentic voices. Dad reflected to us always that our reports of our school experiences and our peer observations had impact and warranted study. He mentored and advised us as much as he parents. Occasionally during a home lecture, Mom might say, "Bill, those are your daughters, not your students." But we understood, though, that he wanted to teach us the power of language, of laughter, and literature. Our bedtime stories were Langston Hughes's Just Be Simple series and the poetry of Paul Laurence Dunbar. The Party was our favorite. Dad's reading of this is a joy if you can get him to do it. And in Dunbar's words, "I can't tell you nothing about it. You ought to seen it for yourself." Dad's immense mirth, his joy in the turns of phrase, alliterations, puns, the banter, and the sociality representing the people he knew and grew up with, deepened our comprehension and embraced levity as he imparted the glorious passport of playing with words. Passing on rich cultural experiences, showing us Black excellence in both implicit and explicit methodologies. Dad sang us songs of faith and freedom, like Jacob's Ladder at bedtime, and played jazz and Luther Vandross and Sarah Vaughan and Stevie Wonder all day Saturday while we cleaned. This profound, supportive, distinguished cultural landscape included cooking as well. Food prep time is math and conversation and stories and history nested into Granny Trent's chicken dish, family biscuit, and secret pound cake recipes. Consistently, Dad, you have expressed love through domains of development. You have framed atmospheres for belonging, for warmth and care, for agency and self-efficacy, for academic and professional success. What you created for us and for your students was the same. Through your lens, multitudes of us knew not just that we could be successful, but that we would be. Standing on your shoulders, we aim for the heights of success and access along the continuum of community. So, Dr. Dad, your labors yield fruit and bear witness to education as transformative for the youngest and newest to the most wizened and most decorated. Thank you in this room to Dad's trusted friends and colleagues, to Uncle Jim, Auntie Denise, other familiar faces here for all of the joy that you have given to him and for your role in our lives. Thanks to Mom, such a gracious lady. I wore my pearls for her. For co-creating a landscape of support and distinction as a way of life. For collaborating with Dad across 57 years of marriage this July. Thank you, College of Education, Dean Musa, and the University of Illinois for extending to our father a learning laboratory and an intellectual home. Dad, profoundly, you charge us all to invest in access to the highest caliber of education for all people. Congratulations. We are so proud. Puff out your chest. You've got a medal to pin on it.
Thank you all. Thank you all again for being here. Thank you, Tiffany, for the remarks. What a great way to close this meeting. Congratulations again, Dr. Trent. Congratulations to all of our award winners at the college level, university, elsewhere, and to all of the great work that happens in the college. I think after today's meeting, you can see why we should all be so proud and so privileged and honored, that we get to do this work together here. I'm definitely very proud to be here with you today and moving forward. So thanks again for being with us, and please join us next door for a closing invitation reception and to celebrate all of our achievements and another wonderful academic year. Thank you.